Hey everybody, welcome back to Cop World Series. I'm your host, Pete Thron. I'm also the author of End of Tour. I want to speak about a subject that I spoke about a few weeks ago. We got a pretty good response on it, domestic violence. As a uniformed police officer back in the 80s and 90s in the housing projects, the majority of my calls that I responded to were domestic abuse or domestic violence, like I said. In the case of domestic abuse, it can escalate and become life-threatening for the victim. What it is the abuser uses a behavior to control their spouse, child, and at times even their elderly parents. And it takes many forms. It starts out verbally, physically, and then at times sexual. It affects all communities throughout the world, regardless of age, gender, ethnic background, or religion. It starts out by being verbal, which will damage the victim emotionally. The abuser will start out maybe by screaming in their face, yelling or cursing, trying to humiliate them, scream in their face up close in a menacing manner to put fear in them. The offender will prevent the victim from interacting with their friends and families to keep control of them. There are times where it even becomes a financial burden for the victim because the abuser will deny access to their bank accounts. They'll withhold money from them. They'll withhold the child's allowance, run up debt in their name, sabotage their jobs, so they get fired. Another form of domestic violence is stalking. And the stalker will, after a breakup, will show up unannounced and won't leave. They'll send text message after text messages. And also leave threatening voicemails. If these forms of abuse don't work for the offender, then it becomes domestic violence against the victim. It escalates. How the violence escalates, it escalates into a person being stabbed, shot, maybe a child being burned, used as a ashtray from the parent, where they put the cigarette out on the child or hold them under hot water. Hit with sticks. They'll at times shoot their spouse. A few cases, the victim will be mutilated on the victim's genital. The worst case scenarios are when they get sexually abused or obviously when they get killed. Globally, domestic violence hits women most. They tend not to report the crime, and they experience a more severe type of violence against them. It's a crime that doesn't get reported by the victim, and the abuser feels it's an entitlement to them, and it's acceptable by the spouse or justifiable. Because in their mind, they know it's not going to be reported by the victim. The worst kind of abuse to me is against a child. When a child is abused as a young toddler or adolescent, they will have psychological problems from an early age, and it will go into adulthood where they may become the abuser of a spouse or a child. Child abuse, in my eyes, is the worst and the most horrendous crime out there. There's no more evil crime than a sexual abuse against a child. And as far as I'm concerned, any offender that touches a child, they should get life. There is no rehabilitation for them. They're going to go back and do it again. I'm like out of words with that when it comes to child abuse. I'm sorry. Children and our elderly parents have to come first above all. We as sons and daughters must protect our mother and father. They brought us up. And as parents, we must protect our kids. And if we know any child that's being abused, we have to do something about it. Report it. These type of relationships for spouses, they're toxic. When a person says it will never happen again, it's going to happen again. And the next time, it's going to escalate into a worse problem for the victim. Don't be the prey to these predators. Take your life back. If you get anything out of this video, just know it's not your fault, and there's help out there. I'll leave a number for you to call if you're in trouble or have been in that kind of relationship and you want to get out of it. It's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The number is 1-800-799-7233. If you like this video, hit the like button and the subscription button. If you want to pick up my book, End of Tour, it's on Amazon.com, Apple Books. On a further note, please be really careful with this virus. It's very real. It's affected my family personally, with several of the people in my family. Wear your gloves and mask when you're going into stores or even buildings to a doctor's appointment or something. Please be safe out there. And until next time, have a great day. And I look forward to speaking to you again.